Hey guys, it's Travel with Zoe representing for Kingston to LA.
Travel with Zoe is known for her content traveling across the Caribbean and most recently for her stay in an Airbnb in Kingston, Jamaica.
Wagwan people, I'm Kali Madden and I'm here with Travel with Zoe. Zoe Wagwan, big up
Hey
yourself.
guys, thanks for having me. This is my first interview in LA.
Welcome to LA.
Thanks.
So we want to know, tell us where you're from originally and how you ended up going to the Caribbean and starting to go to the Caribbean.
Yeah, so I'm from England, from quite a boring place in the countryside. And I randomly ended up taking an interest in dancehall music when I was like about 17. So then from then I was like, I need to go to Jamaica because I was like obsessed with dancehall. So yeah, I went to Jamaica when I eventually, saved enough money to buy a flight and everything when I was about 20. I'm 33 now, so that was in 2013. I just went for a few weeks when I had like some time off university, but I stayed with a local person on their couch using a platform called couch surfing, which
I used
allows you
to
to,
I
right,
used to use it.
yeah, but a lot of people still don't know about it. So yeah, from then I was like, well, I had a great time. I was like, I want to stay with local people more around the world. I want to go to Jamaica more. I want to go to the Caribbean more. It just kickstarted everything from there really. And then I would just travel a lot whenever I could get the time and the money. And then I ended up becoming a travel vlogger. Well, I quit my jobs like 4 years ago and I've been on the move since then.
So where feels like home now?
Trinidad, really. Obviously the UK still, but like I left the UK 4 years ago, which is quite a long time, and over the past 4 years I spent more time obviously away from the UK than I've been back like maybe once a year, but
Yeah.
last time I went back was April last year, so it's like not really that relevant to me anymore. Like I still have friends and family there, but it's like wouldn't really feel like home anymore because I don't have a home there. You know, the
Yeah.
stuff that's happening in my life is not there anymore, so it's like
Do you like the term digital nomad?
can't say I like it, but I use it because brings you onto the correct algorithm. If you say I'm a digital nomad, it will
Sure.
put you on the algorithm of people who are interested in that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I am, right? Because I work online and I move around, so technically I am one of those things. Yeah.
True that. So if you had to send a person to the Caribbean for their first trip ever, which country are you sending them to?
So I always would need to know like what they're looking for, right? If they're like a bit scared and they're looking for somewhere that's maybe going to feel like they don't need to go out of their comfort zone too much, I'll probably say Barbados because I feel like in Barbados they're so accustomed to having a lot of tourists. They're accustomed to like helping the tourists find out which bus to go on. It's like you see a lot of people, you see a lot of tourists, so you wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm the only one. Do you know what I mean? So for like a beginner vibe, I'll probably say Barbados. But if you're maybe looking for something with a lot of nature, I'll probably say Dominica because it's a nature island. If you're looking for like, street food and kind of really vibrant culture, then I would say either Jamaica or Trinidad. So it
Hmm.
depends what you want.
Yeah. Where do you have the most fun?
Oh, Trinidad because I spent a lot of time there, but I would say Jamaica is so fun. Like I would say if you're looking for like fun, then maybe I feel like Jamaica just has this like vibrancy that nowhere else has, especially with how it's so heavy on like the arts, music, art, fashion, dance, all of that. I feel like and the humor in Jamaica is just something else. In the
Yeah.
whole Caribbean, the humor is something else, but Jamaica's
Jamaica
really fun.
is
Yeah. It's like
unrivaled.
yeah.
So I saw you in a photo with Sizzler back in the day, and so
You've
you said
really done your
yeah,
research.
you mentioned that you like dance hall. So, but there's this element too where you're vegan and you like Ital Food. So were you into
Yeah.
Rasta culture at any point?
So basically, first I was into dancehall, then I went to Jamaica, like I was telling you in 2013. So when I was Googling like what vegetarian, because I was vegetarian at the time, like what vegetarian food to eat in Jamaica, I read about Ital food, right? So when I went there, my first day or in my first few days, I was exploring Ochi by myself, and I had read online, well, what you need to do is just like ask an old Rasta man, like, where's the Ital shop? I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So I walked around, asked this old Rasta man, excuse me, please can you show me where's the Ital shop? And then he showed me to this one. I can't remember the name, but it's like upstairs above a shop in Ochi. I know it still exists now, but I can't remember the name. But
I think I know it. Yeah.
anyways,
Oh, Calabash. Yeah,
right. So
yeah.
he showed me to Calabash, and then he was telling me all these things about how we should listen to conscious music. And he was giving me the whole like old Rastaman usual information. And then yeah, I ate the food and then end up talking to these other old Rastaman in the shop, and they were all telling me how Babylon is poisoning us with the food from the supermarket and all of this. And so yeah, I kind of that's actually what turned me vegan was talking to
Oh
them because
wow.
yeah, I was vegetarian at the time, eating a lot of like cheese and pizza and this and that. And
Mhm.
after that, I went home and was like, I don't want to cook with salt. Like, I don't want Babylon to poison my
Yeah.
food.
every vegan remembers that moment when you're like, okay, I'm not doing it. So that's amazing. That was in Jamaica.
Yeah, but obviously it's like I like to be around Rastas like generally because I find it's always like a safe space, a peaceful space, and there's room for like a lot of interesting conversation. And I like how they talk a lot about like energy, and I just like it. But at the same time, obviously, I can't fully like fit in with that because obviously I don't smoke and I don't really follow like the Bible, and obviously their beliefs, are rooted in certain
Yeah,
things from the Bible. So it's like I don't really align with like one specific group, but I do like to obviously spend time in Ital shops and that stuff.
fair.
Yeah.
All right, so like, which island is the easiest to navigate and the least touristy?
That's two separate questions, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, probably the easiest, probably Barbados, because like I said, they literally are like, oh, where are you looking for? They like help you get on the bus even without you asking and stuff like that. So yeah, probably Barbados is the easiest to navigate. And then, but also Grenada has a good bus system, in my opinion, because they actually write on the front of the bus what number the bus is and where it's going. Whereas places like St. Vincent, you just have to like guess or just stop the van and ask them. So yeah, the least touristy, maybe in my experience, St. Vincent, if you stay on the mainland and don't go to like Bequia and those small islands, or maybe Trinidad if you stay there and don't go to Tobago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, Zoe, you're not afraid to take the bus. When you came out of the airports in Jamaica, I was like, oh, I had been following you for a while. So I
Yeah.
see you start to take the bus to downtown. So, I mean, just tell us, are you unafraid?
I'm not unafraid. Like I always tell people, I think it's a bit pointless to be scared until something scary happens, because otherwise you're just wasting your life being scared. So usually I try not to be scared unless there's like a literal reason in front of me to be scared. And I think something like taking a bus in the middle of the daytime in Jamaica, let's be real, is something that many, many people do every single day, and the majority of them come out unharmed. Like it's quite frankly not a risky activity to take a JUTC bus in Jamaica, let's be real. There are certain things I do that are risky activities, but taking a JUTC bus is quite simply not one of them. Like it's maybe a bit of an annoying experience. You might prefer to have your friend with a car, whatever. So it's maybe a bit of a, you know, unconventional thing to do with like a heavy bag, sure. But like we can't say that it's extremely dangerous to jump on a JTC bus at 3 p.m. or 11 a.m. or whatever, can we? I mean, do you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah. Um, so sometimes people are a bit dramatic because that's really not dangerous. Okay, what happens when you get off the bus in downtown could possibly be dangerous, but the bus itself, come on. People sit there very civilized, say good morning. They just sit there. The
Yeah,
buses in LA are way crazier than the buses in Jamaica.
truth.
I mean, in terms of who's on them.
Hmm. It can be very similar, actually.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like here, I'm more scared on a bus here than in Jamaica. I'm
Oh,
not scared on
wow.
either of them, but if I had to be scared on one, it would be
All
here.
right, so we know you've stayed in a lot of Airbnbs all over the Caribbean, all over the world. What is the worst Airbnb experience you've actually had?
So to be honest, I really hate to like bring bad stuff to other people. So especially because the Caribbean's so small, I'm usually quite hesitant to like really talk properly about my bad experiences because I just don't want. I mean, people can get killed because of what you say. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
on an extreme level. So to be honest, I prefer to more talk generally rather than like pinpoint
Hmm.
specific ones. Do you know what I mean? So there have been a few in my life that I've left early. It's very rare actually because I'm so not fussy. Like really, once there's like a roof and I can charge my phone and I can bathe in some kind of water, if it's a bucket, if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's outside, if it's inside. Do you know what I mean? I'm really, really not fussy. So if I leave an Airbnb early, something quite crazy must have happened. So I think there was maybe only one that I left early in my life, and that was the one in Jamaica.
We know.
um
Everybody wants to know why.
yeah. So again, like I don't want to really, you know, bring anything bad on anyone, and who's to say that it wasn't my fault? Obviously I think it wasn't my fault. Obviously I think that my reasons, I think that me and the host didn't see eye to eye, and obviously I think that that wasn't my fault, but clearly I would think that because I'm me. And I'll tell you off camera, but yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I hope that I'll be back in Jamaica, so I don't want to cause any beef with anyone, and I never really hold any hard feelings towards anyone. Actually, I'm a very like peaceful and forgiving person, so I feel like I just can't really spill the tea on here. But
Okay.
yeah, I think with Airbnb, you really need to learn to read between the lines with reviews. People are scared to say the truth in reviews because they think they'll get like a bad review back, or you know. So you really need to develop this skill of like reading in between the lines. So if they say like, this stay would be perfect for someone who really wants to be accompanied everywhere, what that means is like the host is a bit of a stalker. Do you know what I mean? So like you really need to like ignore the 5 stars and read between the lines. Because when I look back, if I had read more between the lines, I think maybe I would have understood
You would
more.
have got the hint. Okay. There you have it. All right, so let's get into the comparisons with Jamaica and Trinidad.
You guys are always trying to get me in trouble.
So, after the party, do you prefer Jamaican food or Trinidadian food?
Okay, so I always say like Jamaica has better Ital, but if I had to pick the non-Ital, so just pick from like the regular food, then Trinidad's better for me because it has like the curries, like all the vegetable curries, right? So 50-50, because Trinidad doesn't really have an Ital scene like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it has all the good curry. So it's a tough one. I don't know what to say. It's like really the two of them, both the cuisines are in like my top 5 in the world for sure.
Okay.
And I just don't know what to tell you because a plate of those curries from Trinidad, I can eat that every day, and a plate of Ital, I can eat that every day. Like I could eat both every day happily, one for lunch, one for dinner, and I'll be good for the rest of my life.
All right, so you're offered a Jamaican patty or doubles. Which one are you gonna take?
It's so difficult. Like if it's an aki patty, I'm taking the aki patty. But if it's just like a vegetable patty, I'll take the doubles.
Okay, fair enough. So, what's the vibes like with Trinidad at night and Jamaica at night? Which one do you have the most fun?
I think Jamaica probably has a more like fascinating nightlife because of how they have those dancers in the party that will be like doing the like coordinated
Yeah,
dancing,
man.
and I feel like the fashion, it really comes alive at night in Jamaica, how like people want to step into the party and like the most unique thing, or I love to see that. It's really cool to see like the expression through the fashion in Jamaica. I think the fashion in Jamaica is much more like expressive than the fashion in Trinidad.
So Trinidad will win
um
that one.
so I would say Jamaica probably would win that one for me. Oh God, this is so scary.
All right. Well, have you dated Jamaican or Trinidadian?
So I dated a Jamaican person, but he was in England.
Okay.
That was like when I was about 17. I was like seeing this Jamaican guy for like a few months. But I've actually had a boyfriend in Trinidad because, as I told you, I spent more time in Trinidad. So sometimes I'm there for like a period of 3 months or 2 months, or quite long, and I might come back multiple times in a year. So last year, for like the whole year, I had a boyfriend in Trinidad who was
Okay.
from Trinidad. We broke up like in January, but we're still cool. Like we're still friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I never really understand when people are like, "Oh, I just love Jamaican men," or "I hate like Vincy men," or whatever. I'm like, they're literally just all individuals. Like I never really understand this whole like labeling
Yeah.
of.
There's some similarities.
Sure, but like I just feel like I just see everyone for like who they are,
Yes.
So I'm not really into the whole like labeling
Yeah.
thing.
Fair. All right. So if you weren't traveling, what would you be doing?
So my last main few jobs before I basically quit my jobs and became a travel vlogger, I was working at COVID testing centers. Obviously, I couldn't do that anymore, and I was the team leader for like a care team that was taking care of a disabled child. So we had to help her to, eat, wash, play, everything. She was in a wheelchair, so yeah. And I had worked in schools, a lot of jobs with like kids, and I probably couldn't work with kids again because I have like music videos in like underwear on YouTube. So yeah,
There's
probably.
many different personas in the workplace. Let's just do it.
I don't think they'll let me work with kids again, but yeah, I like to work with like kids and vulnerable people. I sometimes work with other disabled people, and I used to like volunteer with like charities that help refugees and stuff like that. So hopefully something in that kind of area.
Yeah. So when you were in Jamaica, nobody offered you to come on the track. I know you did some work in Trinidad.
I don't
Music.
think we can call it work, but I think we could call it a side quest. But no, they actually didn't, which is totally fine. I think I interviewed just one artist. Um, but no, nobody asked me to do that. Which I was so busy, like every single day I was just out of vlogging, like trying to try all the ITIL spots. So I was definitely super busy. So it's totally fine.
Do you have any desire to jump on the WIF algorithm?
Stop.
You could do it today.
I literally would rather like hide in that flower pot. I swear. Like I feel so embarrassed like every time I have to like hold a microphone. Well, not this, but like a singing microphone because I quite literally cannot sing, and like it was literally a side quest, literally for fun that just spiraled completely out of control. And, like it's so far out of my comfort zone. Like people think I was being serious. I was not being serious. I can't dance, I can't sing, I don't even like fashion, I don't wear makeup. What do you want me to even wear if I have to go on a stage? Like I no, that's the worst nightmare. But because it just kind of spiraled, I just like went with it for the experience because now it's so fascinating to me like that I've spent this time in these studios and got to know these artists. It's like such a fun thing to look back on, but it's not something that I want to be my life. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it was playing in the dance.
It still plays on radio. Sometimes I'm on like a bus in Guyana and then it's like travel with Zoe and I'm like, oh my god. No man, no
Right, so
stress.
what's the worst thing about viral fame, and what's the best thing?
I think the best thing is just the kind of connections and experiences that it can bring you because of course sometimes people might invite you to go to this radio station and then because they might want to interview and then maybe when you're there you might meet this artist that you've always liked or you just get different connections that you wouldn't otherwise get, which is really cool. And sometimes I've made, like lasting friends through social media. Um, and then also it it can become your job, right? So then you can be a digital nomad. The worst thing, multiple very bad things. I'm quite sick of it to be honest. After 4 years, I actually sometimes really wish I could just be working in like a supermarket or something. I swear. Some days I really wish I just had a normal job. But the worst things is like sometimes I get like death threats, rape threats, in my DMs, and just every day the objectification from men that I get in my DMs, which all women get anyway, but I think when you have more followers, obviously it's just multiplied. And then people think they have like a right to know everything about your life. So if you mention like one thing, maybe, oh, I went to a meeting or whatever, they're like, oh, but you have to tell us what it was. You can't tell us that and then not tell us the rest of the story. And it's like, well, I actually can. And even like on the street, like sometimes they ask me like, oh, like where are you going now? And in my head, it's like maybe I'm going to literally get like an STI test or something. Like I don't want to tell you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I know like where are you going? I'm like, oh, I just have to like do some errands. Like the weird. I just think it's weird that they suddenly think they're like entitled to know everything about your life. Do you know what I mean? Um, and then every day having to hear like these completely invented stories about yourself. Like I'll wake up and there'll be like a video and it'll be like, oh, this is Travel with Zoe's man. He recently like did this crime and he's like funding her lifestyle through his crime and like just like these weird like stories which sometimes are a bit harmless but sometimes are actually accusing you of
Yeah,
bad things and then everyone's running with
promiscuity
it
and
like
things
yeah
like
yeah
that.
yeah blah
Yeah.
blah blah and it's like just quite weird to like live every day hearing these completely invented things about yourself. Like it's just that's just not normal. That's just not it's just not normal, is it? To like wake up every day and see those
You
weird
have
things.
to have a
And
very
even
thick
there's like
skin.
people make like AI nudes of me. So they use these programs where you can if I'm posing on like a balcony in like shorts and a bikini top, you can input that into like an AI thing and it can like guess what your body parts will look like and it will like remove it will like nudify you.
Oh
So
shoot.
yeah, so people and there's actually laws against that in some states in America now. Like I've researched it, but it's not illegal in the Caribbean. So yeah, they often circulate these like fake nudes that so often like every week I'm getting nice leaks. I saw you got leaked. Like your body in them leaks. Like, and it's like it's literally AI, bro. Like you're sitting in your bed at night, like looking at an AI nude. Like get a life. But it's like just a bit, ugh, like draining sometimes. All of that stuff.
Yeah, so this year I know you grew a lot. I saw you in Jamaica. As I said, I've been following you for years, but I saw you following grow when you were in Jamaica. And then after you left Jamaica, there was a scandal where you made the comment about
Yeah.
Speed's visit. So do you regret that comment?
Um. Hard to say because I tried to have a policy of like no regrets. I can definitely say it was pointless. Like, and I actually feel like I have a bit of a problem because I've reached the point where I just whip out a camera and just say stuff without even thinking anymore because I've been doing it for so long. Like every day I naturally film everything. And this isn't the first time that I've like whipped out a camera, said something, done something, shown something, posted it, and then thought an hour later, like, bro, like, what's wrong with you? Like, did you really need to do that? Do you know what I mean? And not every time does it come with such consequence, but it's definitely not the first time that I'm very impulsive, and yeah, so I still like
Did you lose followers?
yeah, so on TikTok I went from 422,000 to 418,000, so I lost 4,000, and on Instagram I went from 114,000 to 113,000. So which actually in the grand scheme of things is really nothing and it doesn't matter. What more just sucks is when people then start to create these like crazy narratives about you that have nothing to do with what you even said. Like people are like, oh, she's saying she wants to be treated like a queen everywhere. And it's like, I actually didn't mention myself in the entire video. I literally didn't mention myself as like a societal analysis about what would happen if this was someone else, not me. Like, you know? Um, and so it's just like a bit annoying to feel like misunderstood every single day. The followers, I really don't care. There was a lot of death threats from that. 2 bullets stay ahead if you come back to Jamaica, 2 bullets stay ahead if you come back to Trinidad, whatever. Obviously, I've been back to Trinidad since, and I don't think there's any bullets in my head. But, you know, it's just not ideal. And, it's not nice to upset people, even if we might feel like they shouldn't be upset, or even if we feel like they didn't really understand what we said. It's, of course, not nice to upset anyone, whether they're my followers or not. Why would I ever want to upset anyone? Like, um, so, but I feel like there's lessons to everything, and everything kind of does happen for a reason. So, it definitely showed me a lot because it was really interesting to see like which friends and acquaintances like reached out to check if I was okay, which people made videos about me to just try and get clout for themselves, and it was really obvious that it was not actually to do with them caring what I said. It was just to do with them seeking attention. It was just interesting to like see everyone's behavior, and I feel like it gave me like knowledge that I needed, um and it also reminded me that like social media is not actually like life, as in the important things in my life are the people I love, the food I love, the music I love, whatever. And even if that had caused me to lose all my followers and it had caused me to not be a content creator the very next day, well, okay, like that's not the most important thing in life, is it? And I think sometimes we need to remember that, because sometimes we get wrapped up as content creators and think that this is our whole life, but it literally isn't. Like if you step away from that, it's literally not the most important thing in your life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, Zoe, so I want to know how you one get so much hickey.
Oh, so I feel like I don't even get many, because I actually feel like most of the time I'm too scared to even date people because of my social media, right? Like I'm scared that they're just doing it as some kind of dare, like some kind of bet, like who can get with like travel with Zoe and secretly film it
It's
or
a bit
whatever.
of
So I'm
Caribbean
so
man thing,
scared. But yeah, so when I went to Jamaica, okay, you see how I was telling you earlier, every time I have an interview, it's when my dark circles look the darkest, right? And it's like anytime I'm about to have viral content, that's when the hickey comes, I swear. Because it's like the one that I had when I came to Jamaica, it's like before that, I hadn't had a hickey for like 5 months. I'm not even joking. I had like the driest dry spell since I broke up with my ex in January. I hadn't had a hickey for like 5 months. And then I get the first one in the whole of 2026, and what? Have a viral video the next day. I swear. It's like when you're a teenager and you're going to a house party, you get the worst like skin, you get like spots or, blackheads or whatever before you go to like the important house party. It's the same thing. I don't know. I feel like the universe just gives me them before the viral videos. Hey guys, it's Travel with Zoe. I'm here in Hollywood with Kingston to LA. So big up them. Thank you for having me. And I just want to shout out all the Caribbean people in LA.